What's up, guys? It's the Fabled Menace here, and today we will be talking about the new Hydro DPS HP scaling character, Mualani. Let's start with her elemental skill. After using her skill, Mualani will gain 16 Night Soul points and enter the Night Soul Blessing state. When in this state, she will continuously consume Night Soul points. When they are depleted or the skill is used again, the Night Soul Blessing will end. When Mualani jumps onto her surfboard, her movement speed is increased and interruption resistance is increased as well. Mualani can use the surfboard on water and on lava, and will take no damage from the lava. Normal attacks are substituted by Sharky's bites, and deals Night Soul aligned hydro damage based on Mualani's max HP. When Mualani makes contact with opponents in this state, she applies Marked as Prey to them and gains 1 wave momentum stack, max 3 stacks. 1 stack can be gained from the same opponent every 0.7 seconds. Her damage dealt will also increase when using Sharky's Bite based on wave momentum stacks. When she has 3 stacks, Sharky's Bite will be converted to Sharky's Surging Bite. All stacks are removed after the bite. When Sharky bites an opponent marked as prey, that mark will be removed and she will fire shark missiles at up to 5 nearby opponents marked as prey. If more than one opponent is the target of Sharky's bite and shark missiles, the damage dealt will decrease, decreasing at most to 72% of the original damage when 3 opponents were targeted. Next up is her Elemental Burst, which fires a Super Shark missile that can track opponents, dealing Night Soul aligned AoE hydro damage based on Mualani's max HP. Now for our first passive talent. When Sharky's Surging Bite hits an opponent, a buffer will generate nearby. Mualani will restore 20 Night Soul points when she picks up a buffer. Only 2 buffers can be created per Night Soul Blessing. Now for our second passive talent. This talent will be more effective after more natlan characters are released, because for this talent to work, nearby party members needs to trigger a Night Soul Burst for Mualani to gain 1 stack of Wave Chaser exploits, which lasts 20 seconds, max 3 stacks. These stacks increase the damage dealt of Boom Shakalaka by 15%, 30%, and 45%, and is based off her max HP. Now for her third passive talent. This talent is basically just to sustain her movement, where there is a 75% Night Soul point decrease when on water or lava in Natlan, and a 35% point decrease on water outside of Natlan. And finally, her fourth passive talent is the location of nearby resources unique to Natlan will appear on your minimap, and harvesting these resources, so long as there is a phlogiston mechanism nearby, she will gain 15 phlogiston. Her best in slot being the Obsidian Codex. A 2-piece of the set will increase damage dealt by 15%, so long as character is on field and is in the Night Soul Blessing state. A 4-piece of the set will consume 1 Night Soul point while on the field, and the character will gain 40% crit rate for 6 seconds. This effect can trigger once every second. For Sands, you will be looking for HP Sands, her Goblet a hydro damage bonus, and a Circlet crit damage. An alternative 4-piece set in the meantime would be the Marashase Hunter, a 2-piece of the set, normal and charge attack damage increased by 15%, and at a 4-piece, when current HP increases or decreases, crit rate will be increased by 12% for 5 seconds, max 3 stacks. Now I'd just like to add, for this set to be the most effective, Farina must be on the team. In the meantime, you can also run a 2-piece Farouk Shah, which increases HP by 20%, and a 2-piece Tenacity, which also increases HP by 20%. An alternative 2-piece set would be a 2-piece Obsidian Codex and a 2-piece Heart of Depth, which gives a hydro damage bonus of 15%. Her best weapon, is Surf's Up, which is a main stat crit damage. And the passive for this weapon is max HP is increased by 20% once every 15 seconds. For the 14 seconds after using the elemental skill, you gain 4 Scorching Summer stacks. Each stack increases normal attack damage by 12%. Every 1.5 seconds after using a normal attack on an opponent, you lose 1 stack. But you gain 1 stack every 1.5 seconds after a vaporized reaction occurs on an opponent. Max 4 Scorching Summer stacks. An alternative 5-star weapon to run on her would be 1000 Floating Dreams. Main stat, Elemental Mastery. And the passive for this weapon is party members other than the equipping character will provide the equipping character with buffs based on whether their elemental type is the same or not. If their elemental type are the same, it increases the elemental mastery by 32. If not, it increases the equipping character's damage bonus of their element type by 10%. Each effect can have up to 3 stacks. In addition, all nearby party members other than the equipping character will have an increased elemental mastery by 40. A really good 4-star weapon to run on her would be the Wutsith. Main stat crit damage. And the passive for this weapon is when the character takes the field, they will gain a random theme song for 10 seconds. This can only occur once every 30 seconds. There are 3 different theme songs, starting with the first one, Recitative, which increases the attack by 60%, Aria, which increases all elemental damage by 48%, and Interlude, which increases the elemental mastery by 240. And lastly, an alternative 4-star weapon would be the Ring of Yaksha, which main stat is HP percentage, and this is a forgeable weapon, so it makes it free to play friendly. The passive for this weapon is when using elemental skill grants the Jade Forged Crown effect. Every 1000 max HP will increase the normal attack damage dealt by the equipping character by 0.6% for 10 seconds. Normal attack damage can be increased this way by a maximum of 16%. I will be showing her best teams and showcases in an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. And finally, if you liked this video and found it helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe.